All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning, and hope you're having, hope you had a great day yesterday on this Wednesday morning. Good morning, Norm. We definitely missed you yesterday, man. How you doing today? Good, good. Glad to hear that. Doing good, doing good. Yeah, we heard that somebody was banging at your door at 3 a.m. And I thought to myself, no, Norm lives in Texas. That's probably the wrong house you want to be banging at that time in the morning, for obvious reasons. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I makes sense not to fall asleep after something like that. So completely understand. All right, folks. But we're definitely happy to have you back. Let's get to it, folks. Oh, they cannot. All right. I'm just gonna check here. They should be able to hear you now. Just want to get a quick confirmation. Say something, Norm, just to get a quick confirmation there.
Yep. Just let us know if you can hear me. It'll take about 20 seconds, so you guys will be behind. But if you'd let me know, thank you.
All right, perfect. All right, guys. So let's get to it here. As usual, our gappers list from yesterday, we had quite a bit on here. We had a pretty decent watch list. Just a lot that you can watch on here. We had our main watch list here. We also had some possibles that, I didn't really check the possibles how they traded. So we'll check today how these turned out. And this morning we'll go over our gappers list, which is quite a little bit light on the lighter side this morning. We'll look at Nasdaq active and Nasdaq gainers, and we'll see what we can find today to build this watch list for this Wednesday. So let's start going with our list from yesterday. PCG, guys, continues to be just a roller coaster. I was kind of mentioning in the chat room earlier, just up and down, constantly gapping in all kinds of directions. Today we're actually gapping up 9%. 1.2 million shares traded. So we'll leave that right on here for our watch list later on. Yesterday traded, we traded okay. It had a pretty good, decent pre-market activity, very active. The 5 minute, which I usually is where my focus is, I was not really clean. Even for opening range breakdown, you had one opportunity here, but then it really bounced right back. So again, very whippy. It didn't really have a nice flow to it. It is on a downtrend, but this downtrend is not giving us any ABCD patterns. There's nothing clean about it. It's not really leaving the VWAP on the 5 minute, which is what I focus on. Now, if you look at the one, if you're trading off the one, you can see a very nice, cleaner, more defined downtrend here on PCG. But the five, there was just no indications here. You could see some rejections of the VWAP here, but again, not a clear signal for entry on any of the strategies that we're looking for. So PCG was not all that great in that sense. After the fact, looking at it now, yeah, you can see a beautiful downtrend. MU, guys, is back on the radar. It's been so active the last couple of days. At least the last 3-4 days has been really trading really well with a lot of volume. At the open here, we had a beautiful opening range breakdown. This breakdown was very aggressive, happened very fast. You can see this 1 minute is almost half of the breakdown right there. Does a small consolidation on the 1 minute. You can see that there before it continues on this beautiful drop, right? Here's your entry for a short, guys, right at the VWAP. The test is the pullback. You want to break from this 5 minute range. Now, this 5 minute range looks a little bit extended, so that unfortunately stopped me from taking this trade. But man, even after that, it still went down quite a bit. Breaking the low of the day at that time and continuing to head down further. Now here, God, it's funny. We're mentioning in the chat room we were live. Andrew was trading this one live. Brian was on the mic as well. And at 52.92, it's just found some kind of weird support that it kept being bought back up at that level. And it was causing some weird price action. You can see here some of the wicks were just a little bit all over the place. Andrew was able to take a short in here. Unfortunately, he took his eyes away from the screen for like 2 seconds, and he missed this drop here. Literally, guys, like 2 seconds. He went to look at another screen, and when he came back, it was already up here. So that was unfortunate because this would have been a really nice exit here for Andrew on this trade. It looked like it was going to break from that 52.92. It did break, went down to 52.80. That's a nice drop, but then it shot back up. Then from there, guys, you would think it was going to reverse and try to get to some of these levels. It really didn't. It's just kind of just chopping around a little bit here. not doing much for almost the rest of the day, just within this range. So something about MU just didn't let it get going pretty well here. Let's look at AMRN, another one that was very active in the pre-market as well. This one has actually had a beautiful entry for a rising devil. Now we like the rising devil to start off the pre-market, with a little more descent on the drop here and then the pullback. You don't quite get that. It's pretty flat at the pre-market action, but you can see this beautiful rejection of this level we had here, 2210. We had that level yesterday. That was I believe, the low of the pre-market for some time, right? Just kept holding that level there. Once it broke down from that level prior to the pre-market, it comes back up, retests that resistance. That's your signal for an entry. On the 1 minute, you can fine-tune it even better. I just want to zoom in a little more so you get a clear view here. Look how clean that is. That's a clean rejection there. Off that 1 minute of that 2210 level, and you can see the beautiful drop all the way down here. This could have been your signal for an entry anywhere within this area. Obviously, you cannot time the top, guys. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to find an area where we see the rejection happening on the way back down. This is your entry signal to get in for a short position for a rising devil. You can see here hits the low of the day very easily. Not wasting any time to get down, and then from there it just becomes a somewhat of a VWAP reversal. Gave a difficult time to do anything lower. Something we teach in our classes, guys. Once you start seeing that there's not a new 5-minute low that's being made, be cautious because the trend could be changing. In this case, that's what happens. You do not make a new 5-minute low, and then you head right back to the VWAP and even then some. All right, let's take a look at CLVS. So this one also very active over the last couple of days. You can see a lot of action on this one happening. Yesterday, the pre-market action was not all that great, and we mentioned that that CLVS could be the one that has a horrible pre-market action, but then we'll still put in a great opening, right? Opening move here. So you can see a nice, beautiful drop, a beautiful engulfing crack towards the top here, and a bullish engulfing crack. That's a perfect entry here on these pullbacks. What I don't like about this one is that if you got in here, this pullback was too deep. This would have stopped you out, right? But if you re-enter, then you would have taken advantage of a beautiful move, breaking the high of the day and the high of the pre-market. In this area here, you can see how this thing just heads up nicely. So again, beautiful start here. Unfortunately, the continuation candle, the next one up, doesn't really get going. You have a very deep pullback back to the VWAP. Depending on where you set your stop, if you had it at VWAP, you would have survived this. If not, you could have re-entered once it bounced off of VWAP here for a CLVS long. That was pretty nice. From there, it just got pretty choppy. Came back down to some moving averages, wrapped around it, and just really didn't do much in this area here. And also, I was watching this one very closely. The volume had died down quite a lot here. So again, this is why you see kind of those candles are not looking all that great, opposed to this action right in here. Let's look at AMD, guys. So AMD has been also very active, getting a little bit better on their intraday trading. Yesterday, they had a bearish engulfing crack here with some continuation. 1 minute looks great as well, so it traded very clean after that. But then here you got a very small double bottom towards the VWAP. Again, not a big one. It's not as clean as defined, so I wouldn't really take a trade like this. But that's what you have here. You have a level being tested twice, and then heads back to the VWAP. It breaks above the VWAP. When we talk about this a lot, it comes back and tests the VWAP. Actually, here it breaks down even further. But on the way back up, could be a good entry for a long. Usually when you see this type of pattern here, that means the stock is strong and it's regaining the VWAP and heading higher. Could be that the buyers are in control and they're taking this a little step higher. It does not reach the high of the day at that time, but again, it comes right back down to the VWAP and eventually gets up there. Apple actually was a tough yesterday. Apple on the 5 minute had a difficult time to get going. On the 1, you can also see it was a little bit choppy in here. But eventually does settle down, and on the 1 minute looks clean. A lot of patterns on the 5 yesterday were not as defined as we like to see them, right? So again, this in here is not as clean. If you look at the 1, yes, after the fact, now you can see a beautiful uptrend here, but the 1 is not giving you any indication or any pattern that you can trade off of that. So again, very difficult open for Apple. And then from there, after you get this pop, it doesn't really go anywhere. It just starts getting a little choppy sideways here. BA, which I did not have on my list, right? I took off BA because I only watched 6 stocks. I only watched these on here, and BA is usually one of those stocks that does not trade very well for me. I actually traded okay after that first half hour or so, right? So you have that first half hour where it was very choppy, but then it settles down, gets above the VWAP, gets going here with some good volume. Notice the volume when you see these pops come above the VWAP. It's leaving here. You get a nice entry here for a pullback, and then you can see how it goes right to the high of the day here, and then it just keeps on going higher. So again, VA turned out to be very nice after that first half hour or so. Traded very clean. All right, some possibles, guys, really quick. We had Roku, which was kind of choppy, didn't do much. Tesla, we had it on here also. Look how choppy Tesla was. You had a quick 5-minute open range breakup that gave you a nice, beautiful pop, but you had to make sure you had to leave this one in a hurry, guys, because after it hit 385, comes right back down to 383. So if you didn't have a good entry, you would have been stopped out for break even. But again, this was a very quick move here on Tesla. JBL we had on here, but again, I didn't really watch the price action on this one, so it seems just like it didn't do much. This one had earnings, guys. It had popped up. Sold off a bit and just didn't do much going on this area here. Uber, actually, we're looking for Uber to kind of head towards the top here. Because again, the daily chart looks very bullish, but it's kind of sold off a bit here. I did see some of you guys take a great entry in trades on open rates breakdown on Uber, so hopefully you took advantage of that move on there. All right, guys, so that is what we have for yesterday. Norm, let's look at the SPY, and what do we have for today or the rest of the week?
Yeah, frankly, there is not much today. The mortgage application news came out this morning. They were down 5% week over week just because mortgage rates and yields have pretty much, and bond yields and such have pretty much flattened. So there's little incentive for people to refinance. But other than that, SPY is relatively flat. It's just ever so slightly to the green side. It ticked below yesterday's close for just a couple of minutes earlier, about 8 a.m. Eastern, and popped back up pretty quickly. No significant economic data coming out today. And then we've actually got some pretty significant data coming out the next couple of days. So that's kind of the story after just, day after day of making new highs. That's where we sit.
All right, perfect. So let's get to our gappers list here, which is pretty light this morning. Only PCG and FedEx so far. So let's bring up PCG. As we've seen the last couple of days, PCG has just been all over the place. But actually, within the intraday, there's several days that we have received some good intraday trading. So not all bad for PCG. So right here in the daily, guys, we broke out, as you know, this area of resistance around 760 very nicely. Has a few gap ups and the gaps down, and now we're gapping back up again. So again, just got a nice pattern going on here on PCG. Norm, is there any more news coming out on PCG? Anything else that's causing this move?
Yeah, it's like every day news comes out on this. So that big drop, they're obviously getting hammered by the fire news. And then they were back at about 750-ish and broke out when a news came that there were settlements. And then that big drop we had about 5-6 days ago, I guess, was news the governor wasn't going to approve their bankruptcy restructuring. And then this morning, more settlement news came out, and the governor said he's not going to get in the way of them getting that taken care of. So that's what's been going on, giving it the pop this morning.
All right, excellent. So yeah, so here we again, we got some activity, 1.4 million so far this morning, up 10%. So definitely worth keeping an eye on this one. This one has been fun to trade. And if you look at some of these intradays where we have some good movements, the intraday is actually very clean and it has given us some opportunity to trade it here. Let's look at FedEx this morning. FedEx, it is down 7.3. 319,000 shares traded so far. Pre-market activity is looking a little flat, but this is okay for FedEx. It is, it's a type of company that doesn't move much in the pre-market. This type of volume is actually significant for right now for this type of company. It is a nicely stock, so you can expect the action to start in closer to the open. On the daily chart, I do love the way this is setting up, guys. The price action is sitting right at a level of support and resistance. You draw a line on here. We'll do some more of that later in the show. You can see at 151, you can see the area of support on here, some resistance, but a lot of support bouncing back off this level several times here throughout the last couple of months. So it's going to be interesting to see, are we going to hold here or are we going to head down? We do have some levels down here that we can mark down as well, right over here and over here. So this will be interesting. We do have some room to run. FedEx, I think, was earnings last night or this morning, Norm?
Yeah, they had earnings last night. They missed earnings estimates, they missed revenue estimates, and they lowered their guidance for 2020. That's all right on the back of Amazon coming out and saying that their third-party sellers, which comprise, I believe it's 57% of Amazon sales, are not allowed to use FedEx Ground because they have become unreliable. So all that, it's not been a great week or so for FedEx. Yep. It's really interesting on the daily here. It's It's sitting, is this a fourth test off the top of my head? Either fourth or fifth test of this 150-ish
Yeah.
level that we're sitting at.
Yeah, at least four. Right, I see a few on. They've been going back before September. You're right. This is a test. Been tested several times on here. So, uh, very interesting to see what is going to do at the open around that level. All right, so FedEx is good to watch, guys. Got a lot of volume on there. Again, pre-market activity. Don't be fooled by it now. It is a nicey stock, so this tends to be pretty dead, pretty flat, but we can get some movements out of this one this morning. And actually, the spread for the type of stock this is, the spread is usually not that great. But right now we're sitting around what 10 cents or so, which is good. I expect at the open this is going to get a lot tighter. And for a stock that's trading at 150 and the type of stock this is, that's not bad. All right, let's look at some Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. What's going on in that area? Let's start here with active INPX penny stock. We'll skip this one. ZFGN, another penny stock. SLDB. This one has been on our radar before. I don't think it's one that trades very well. Frankly, I think it's one that it's difficult to trade. It has more of that penny style look. So again, so it's popping up here. It's got some volume. Look at the volume, 2.2 million shares traded. Usually when I see that type of volume on stocks that are lower price and don't have a great daily chart, it could signify trouble. I don't even know what the float is on this one. Let's see. SLDB. SLDB is a 24 million shares flow, so it's not a low flow. I consider anything under 20 million to be a low flow, but this is one that just doesn't look like it trades very well. We can keep an eye on it. Norm, any specific news on this one? I know you usually don't look at the news on the Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers.
I have not pulled that one up.
And the reason for that, guys, is we don't look at these because there's so much crap in here sometimes doesn't trade well, right? We look through it and just kind of fine tune one or two that look great. But going through these, you can see we go through them pretty fast. NAKD, it's not anything going on here. Penny stock, that's always on this list. ASLN, 714. Look at this daily. Look how just nasty this daily is. Had a nice move the last couple of days here. Kind of went parabolic a little bit here from $3 to $7 to $8. Today not doing much action on the pre-market, so we'll skip that one. SNY also not doing much. Looks like we have a big block trade, several block trades on here on SNY, so we'll skip that one. ACHV, this one is a penny stock as well, has been active, was active yesterday. Look at this move yesterday here. AMD's on this list again. Again, AMD's got a beautiful daily, guys. I think there's a breakout eventually happening here, potential to break out of this 43. So on a day like today where things seem to be on the lighter side in our gappers list trade idea, AMD is one that I would like to watch. Again, just the daily looks very interesting. We kind of have a bull flag going, kind of like a wedge going here against this 43 level. Higher lows happening on the daily. Could be nice if we can get a nice move up here. Obviously, AMD, MU, and NVIDIA, they need help from the SPY, right? If they can get some good news on the SPY, if it can get going, it could definitely fuel them to break out of areas like this one here. And AMD, I mean, AMD has come back up from like what, $20? I mean, this thing was struggling, guys. Yeah, $25.
Well, I think it was down as low as 14 at one point.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, look at this thing. This thing was down quite a bit, and I remember always AMD was always a lower price stock, and MU was always a little bit higher price stock. And you could decide between those two depending on your criteria what to trade. And they were both very active at one point, and AMD was always the one that didn't move as much. But AMD now is trading at the same price MU is. I mean, slightly $10 or $5 below it. It's right there. So it has done a beautiful, beautiful comeback. Again, it's just been fun to watch, especially the last couple of days. The daily has just been ripping. So
we'll see if it can get to all-time highs maybe in the next few weeks or so.
Yeah, agreed. So definitely going to watch AMD here, guys. Got some okay volume. Again, we like AMD and MU to be over that, AMD, not MU. AMD to be over that 500, 700. That's really active for AMD. Because if you look at the AMD's regular volume, they're getting 40 million shares on a given day with no news, no nothing. That's normal for them, right? They are very traded. They're very highly traded stock. MU, on the other hand, you can have 100 and something and still could put in a good day. So we'll keep AMD on here. PTI, more of a penny stock. Oh, we did look at this one yesterday, but didn't do much. It looked like it just sold off.
Carlos, while you're mentioning MU, Hector made a good point over there. MU does have earnings after the market closes today.
Oh, nice. All right, so that'll be good to watch after the market close today in our chat room. We'll keep the squad guy on and see what happens there. PTI, so yeah, PTI, we had this on yesterday. We did levels for it, but again, just don't see anything that was too clean on PTI. ONTX, also another penny stock that's always on this list. Nothing to watch there. YAYO, nothing happening here, guys. So it's again penny stock. SLDB we
Yayo.
looked at. Yeah, yayo, right? So SYRS. Also nasty, guys. Again, pre-market doesn't look great. Daily chart looks horrible. You are over 100,000. You are over 12%. But again, it's just not anything clean that we like to see in the patterns that we're looking for, in the criteria that we're looking for. PRQR, no volume. PHAS, no volume. ASLN, also nothing happening there. We have Box L, another one that's always on this list but not doing anything great. No volume. CLLS, no volume. LMPX. I think this is one a lot of you traders were looking at. I think on YouTube somebody had mentioned it in our chat room a couple of days ago. I think it's a recent IPO. Yeah, recent IPO. So it's got some movement here in the last couple of days. But again, there's not a lot of data on what's going on with this company. So I'm just going to avoid this one as much as possible at the moment. All right, folks. Norm, what do you like this morning?
So I've got a few things I've got my eye on today. Lulu, after they reported last week and sold off, they had a couple of really great trading days, Thursday, Friday of last week. Not much volume this morning. I've got it on a secondary list. I don't know that I'd have it here, and it traded fairly well yesterday. I did not touch it, but it's sitting right at the 20 moving average on the daily. Looks like it's trying. I mean, like previous day close is right at that moving average. So
Right.
I'm waiting to see, is it going to hang on and bounce, or are we gonna give a pullback, which potentially could go down $10 from here pretty easily. There's a good amount of space down there till you really get some levels. And then Tesla traded great yesterday. It's in breakout mode right now, consolidating, hesitating right around that 380 number. So it's up above that this morning, rejected it yesterday. So it actually, despite my hatred of trading Tesla, it was a nice trade yesterday.
Yep.
And then what else? NVIDIA. NVIDIA is also kind of in an important range right here with some consolidation. If it breaks out above 230, it could be interesting as well. Actually, really, it doesn't even have to get to 230. It might give it a little bit of a test, but that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Tesla's daily also similar to AMD's daily as well. They just have that possible breakout situation happening for them. A lot is going to depend on the SPY too. If the SPY can stay strong a little bit here, they can give it a little more juice for these stocks that are trying to break some of these levels of resistance that they have. So we have NVIDIA. We'll throw that on here as well, and Tesla's a good possible also to keep an eye on. All right, folks, what do you guys have this morning that you like? Let's start over with, usually start with our chat room. Today, let's start over with our YouTube chat room. CLVS, let's see what we got here. So CLVS, at the moment, it's got light volume, but again, this is one that I mentioned before. It's got the light volume. The pre-market activity tends not to be all that great, but you do have some good intraday trading in here. So yesterday traded very well. You had a nice bullish engulfing crack yesterday. It bounced back a bit, and you can see a nice pattern on the daily, right? We got a lot of movement here on the daily chart. So today could be a good continuation if it can hold this previous day close. We have several levels on here, highs and lows as well. I think it could be a good one to try to get to that 13, 14 area where you've seen some resistance and some targets that we have hit before. Again, just the pre-market action right now is pretty light. I want to see this on our turbo breakup scanner, so we have those up in our chat room. So if that hits there, CLVS, we can definitely tune into and see what's going on. As far as levels, we're not doing levels right now, but you got some levels in here already, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days that your DAS should be marking down for you on your chart automatically every morning. So what do we have? CSC. Let's look at CSC here. So CSC, nice gap up, 6.3. Daily chart looks okay, decent, but the pre-market activity is very light right now, almost non-existent, with only 10K of volume being traded. So again, not a lot of action. There's not a lot of people looking at this one at the moment. Let's go over to Netflix. Kyle Harper is giving us Netflix here. Let's see what's going on. Netflix had a great day yesterday. How did that trade? Let's go real quick. Got a couple of minutes to see what's going on with Netflix. Yeah, Netflix had a really good open yesterday. Nice pre-market activity. I don't know how the volume was in here. Maybe not as great because it didn't hit our scanners, I believe. And then here we got a nice little pop yesterday. So again, Netflix, very big move on this one yesterday. Daily chart looks great, also leaving an area of resistance or basically hanging out right on it. So it could be a good possible, guys. Volume is starting to get going. If it can get over 100,000, it'll be start hitting a lot of people's scanners going forward here. What I like about it on the daily charts was that you have a lot of room to run here, all the way up to almost 3 was this 327 or so. That's the only next important level I see, major level I see of resistance is this moving average. So you know what, Netflix can be one that we could watch. It's not hitting all our criteria as far as volume and gapping up or down, but at the daily looks very interesting. We have some room to run here. What else we got, guys? Let's look at FCAU. I believe that is a foreign stock. FCAU. Yeah, it is a foreign stock. The daily is Chrysler, right? Fiat Chrysler. The daily chart on this one is it's a little funky. It's a foreign stock. Doesn't trade very well. Look at the pre-market activity right now, too, guys. I mean, we have 174,000 shares traded, but where are they, right? It's just not doing anything good for us. And also, one of the things with these type of stocks, it's hard to find levels because everything just gaps every day just because it's a foreign stock. So just one that we try to avoid. I'm not saying that on this day here you probably could have had a great trading day, but that rarely happens. Look at what you normally get is this type of choppiness, right? So again, nothing great there on Fiat. Let's look at JBL. So JBL had earnings yesterday, popped up. Not much going on, guys. Only 347 shares traded. So again, very light at this moment. And yesterday did not trade all that well, even with the news. It was very it wasn't all that clean. Let's look at Win. Win Resources had a nice pop a couple of days ago. Kind of held it here in beautiful flag, and then the breakout. This is kind of what we're seeing now with Nvidia, right? So that we have that same kind of setup with Nvidia here, right? So hopefully you can get a pop out of that. But right now on Win, I'm just not seeing great volume, not a great pre-market activity. We could be putting in a nice continuation day. This could be a great one for a secondary, right? I'm going to do a secondary list because lately our secondary list has been great. So again, this one here could possibly be one to get going if it hits our turbo breakup scanners. Let's look at, wow, BYND. We haven't looked at that in a long time. What is BYND? There we go. What is that up to? So this thing's just been consolidating sideways. I have not looked at this daily in a while. It has no volume right now, guys. And it looks like it's not ready to do anything big at the moment, right? It's just kind of been going sideways. So we'll have to wait for the next big news on this one to get going, to give it some juice. Volume has been pretty dead. It's just kind of stalling here. It looks like it has found that base around 71, probably what the stock is actually worth, not 240. But again, we'll have to keep an eye on it. But right now, I don't see anything great. Even to add to our secondary list, I'm not seeing anything great. It could be a possible great swing trade, but I don't see any setup for a swing trade neither. So we'll put this one on the side. All right, GIS. All right, let's go. After this one, we'll go over to our chat and see what you guys have on your end. Let's look at GIS here. So GIS 95,000, 1.7. Wow, this daily is very choppy, guys. I just don't like the way this daily is set up. You can see here, it's just a lot of chop going on here. I'm not sure how this one actually trades. We do have some volume, but even this 95, look at the pre-market action. So again, a lot going on here that I do not like for General Mills. I am just going to avoid this one today. All right, let's go over to our chat. Let's see what we have. So we have GIS Stan. I don't like that one. I just got that one up right now. Marcel is giving us AMC. Let's see what AMC is up to. This one has a nice drop today, 3.1. It's got some volume coming in. They're just reporting or some news breaking out this morning. But yeah, it looks interesting on the dailies. It's got some levels here you can hit. The daily chart is a little choppy. It's been in this consolidation period for some time here. It could be interesting. It could be interesting. I don't see anything too great happening right now, but it could be interesting. We'll see. We'll see. All right, what else we have? So GE, AMR, and NTXT, Kenneth is giving all those. Those have no volume but look interesting. So we'll just look at them real quick. GE, again, not much going on right now.
Garbage. Yep. You don't want to trade that.
Yep, we don't want to trade that. And AMRN here, guys. This one it's been active over the last couple of days, but again, it's been difficult to trade this stock. It's been very whippy. So again, I don't see anything going on right now. It has 77,000 shares traded. But at the moment, we got some other good ones here that look better than this morning. NTNX, let's check out that one. This one's no volume, guys. Pretty dead at the moment. All right, Disney. We'll do two more, and then we'll get to announcements. So Disney here, the volume is light, and it had a great move a couple of weeks ago, right? A month or so ago now. Wow, time is flying. Had a nice, great move here, and that was after the news of their streaming service and all that fun stuff. But now it's just been chopping around here. There's no real signal of any play at the moment. Again, we need some news to get this going. And Disney's one that doesn't move a lot. If you look at their regular daily chart, it's very choppy. There's not a lot of action going on. Once you get some news, that's when you start getting some of these breakouts and good day intraday trading. So right now, I'm not seeing anything great on Disney at the moment. All right, let's see. Yeah, Jay, I love Netflix daily too. I think Netflix has a great daily. So we added on here, even though it doesn't have the volume or the percentage gain right now or loss of 2%. Definitely worth watching. PCG we do have, guys. PCG has been very active, 1.6. That's on our list. We're definitely gonna keep an eye on that one. Just going through here, seeing what
We
else
got
we
one more
have.
called out that had a big move yesterday. That's BBBY,
Yeah,
Bed Bath and Beyond.
yeah. I was just getting to Tom's message here. So Tom, BBBY, yeah, nice big move yesterday. Nice beautiful breakout
Well,
from this resistance area here.
not seeing much in there this morning, but it didn't look like there was going to be anything yesterday either. So
Yeah. That's one of the things that's, you can have a stock like this and out of nowhere just break out nicely like it did yesterday, because this was not on our radar yesterday, and you can see a beautiful breakout here. But again, right now everything is light on this. Pre-market activity, volume, it's just too light to keep an eye on. But what we can do is, if we see this come up in our scanners, right, BBBY, I'll remember that Tom mentioned something, and we'll definitely tune into it. So we'll keep an eye for that ticket to come up. Yeah, we did look at AMC. AMC. See what's going on with AMC. Yeah, actually, we did like AMC. We put it on here as a possible. We might move it up as a on the main watch list. So we'll see on AMC what's going on there. They got some volume today. Pre-market action is not looking all that great. It's pretty choppy at the moment. What I do like on the daily is that we're barely holding on to these level here of $8 for whatever 880. So if we lose that, we have some potential to 747. We'll mark that down just because I already said it. And yeah, daily looks interesting. We can, we can definitely watch this one. We can throw this on here. All right, guys, 9:02 Eastern time. Good morning for those that are joining us now. Let's get over to announcements. Then we'll come back and do levels of support and resistance on our main watch list. We'll go over lightly over our potential watch list here. If there's anything that looks great, we'll move it up, and we'll do some fine tuning towards our 9:15 time frame. Let's bring this up over here. Here we go.
all right, guys. As Andrew and I and Carlos, everybody's mentioned the last few days. Excuse me, I'm choking. Redesigning the website should be launched soon, but we would love to put some member testimonials in there. So if you get a chance, go into your member drop-down menu. The last thing on there is write a testimonial. You can go in there, do it. It takes a few minutes. Excuse me. You can even put in a thumbnail of your picture, and we would just love to be able to include that in the new website. So thank you in advance if you get a chance to do that. Also, today we sent out an email yesterday. The success webinar in the lifetime classrooms tonight, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be about trading in the first 5 minutes by Andrew and Eamon. So we hope everybody can make it over there. If for some reason it doesn't match up with your schedule, these are all recorded and put in the media center. New scanner contest still going on. If you have TI scanner, put your parameters up in the forum, and community will vote on the best, and the winner will win an iPad or an iPhone. Then also, we've got the 1 week chat room trial. If you're watching us on YouTube, have not been in the chat room and like to try the room, you can do so for a discount by using the promo code premarket24, no hyphens, no spaces, premarket24, and it does not auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Also, if you subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube, you'll be notified whenever we go live with new content. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Norm. All right, guys, so let's get to it. So Kenneth had a great comment here. So he said some of the stuff he called out was not great, and it was kind of garbage. But I always say that, some of these garbage stocks usually turn out to be great. You just never know. And that's one of the things that you can have, stocks that don't look great now. For example, I know GIS, right? A lot of you guys are going to be watching GIS. You like the way that looks. GIS here. Right now it doesn't look great. It has a bad pre-market activity for what we're looking for, right? Daily's not all that exciting, but there's nothing holding back this stock from taking off at the open, hitting 54 and hitting, 54.87 or 55. It's possible, right? But the one thing is you can't watch everything, right? You can't watch everything. You got to watch just the best ones that are possible, and then keep your eyes on the scanners. If you're trading, for 2 hours, 3 hours, that's a lot of time, right? You don't have to make your day in the first 10 minutes. A lot of time to be able to view stocks. Focus on the first 6 that look very active. You look over here, we have a lot of volume on here. The reason why volume is important, guys, because that means everybody else is looking at this already in the pre-market, and now when the open happens, as usual, you're going to get even more volume that's going to pour in, right? So it's going to create some nice volatility for us to trade. Now look at our secondary list, right? Not as much volume, But I guarantee that Nvidia is going to get volume at the open. Lulu, Tesla, Windham, not Windham, Wind Resorts. These are all going to get volume. It's just, what can you watch is going to give you the best opportunity possible. Later on in the morning, you can switch to some of these and see what's going on there. All right, so let's start with PCG, guys. We have some levels for PCG already, so don't need to mark anymore. A lot of them. We have 1303, which is the most recent high here. That one is nice. We have our low of our pre-market, which is probably the only one that you need to add on here. Our low of our pre-market is sitting at 1190. Let's mark that down. Level towards 11 previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. And then we have 993, low from the last 2 trading days. And then here 760. So PCG, we have tons of levels already. Good volume, 8.1 million shares traded. One that we're definitely going to keep an eye on this morning. FedEx, guys, going to be interesting right now. Pre-market is not great. What we like about FedEx is that this level we're holding here at 150.95. I'm going to mark that down, 151. A little more higher than the low of the pre-market, but I think this level is the area that's more significant right now for FedEx to lose. We can mark down the low of the pre-market just to have it for our 1 minute, smaller time frames, 5 minute time frames. But this 151.28 is where it's at right there, right? A lot of resistance on there. If we lose out, guys, we have some potentials all the way down here at 147. You can see an area of resistance right on there, of support, excuse me. Down here, 142.90. I don't think we'll get there. And then a very clean one right here, 138. Again, these two are very far out of the money play right now, but again, it's a possibility. Towards the top, I'm going to mark down the high of the pre-market because that's usually an important level. You want to have that down. If we break out of that, it could be a sign that the buyers are taking control of the action. Above this, in here, notice how it starts getting a little bit choppy in here, right? So it's going to be very difficult to find a level on this daily chart. So we're going to do the best we can. I like this one here at 156. It's probably the only one I'm going to add here as a possible minor level. We do have some areas of support and resistance happening around this 156. Overall, in here, guys, you're not going to find anything clean because it's a little bit choppy and all over the place, right? So 156.38 is the one you want to have on here. And above that, previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Don't need to add any more. On AMD also, we have levels from the last 2 trading days. I'm going to just remove what we have there so it's a little bit clear. But again, this don't need to add any more, guys. We're sitting between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. We have the previous day close, which we're really right on it. And we also have some moving averages towards the bottom. So again, I'm not going to add anything more here, guys. I think this looks great already. Netflix also looks great for a possible breakout on the daily. I'm going to mark down 318.70, right? So that's the high of the pre-market at the moment. Just gonna go back. We do have a lot of room to get going here. This moving average we have at 326 is a great target if we can get some juice out of this. And then we have another level here at 335. Not gonna add too many on this one, and we're looking for this one to break out of this area here and get going. This would be nice if we can get a nice strong move. Right now, volume is a little bit light. Pre-market action is not great. So this might be heading down to a possible, as Andrew comes on in a few minutes, to fine-tune our list. Might not be one that we watch on our main watch list. AMC continues to get good volume, 186 down 4.7. We do have 748 is an area here where we have some prior support, so I'm going to mark that down. Our low of our pre-market is sitting at 770. So I think that's all you really need to add towards the top. Above this, plenty of congestion here. Previous day close, highs and lows, moving averages. Again, you got tons of stuff up here above that $8 mark. Don't need to add any more. Now, we are all-time low here. I'm just going to go to a weekly chart to save some time. Oh, we are at all-time low. You know what? AMC just became a lot more interesting. So we are at all-time low on AMC. Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. This could be interesting. Hopefully, we can get more volume out of this one, though. It is a nicey stock, so it takes a little bit longer to get going. So that's what we have for our main watch list. Let's go over our side list real quick, our possible. So we do have NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA could be one that could break out here. So I'm going to move it up to my main watch list. It does have some potential here to get going on NVIDIA. As far as levels, you really have the high of the pre-market. Below that, you have plenty of support towards the bottom, so don't need to add any more in that area. We're looking for a possible breakout here towards the high of the day. Hopefully sells down a little bit towards the previous day close, gives us a bounce and back up to that level. Lulu, guys, no volume, good possible for later if it gets going. Tesla, same situation, not great volume, good possible for later. Also, Wind here looks great for a possible, but again, not a lot of volume. And then we have SLDB, which again has a lot of activity, guys, but this type of stock just doesn't look great. I mean, it just doesn't fit our criteria for what we're looking for. I mean, 2.8 million shares traded. Usually these lower price stocks don't trade very well. So again, just be cautious with this one. It is not a low flow stock. It is 24 million shares flow, so it's slightly above that mark that we like to trade above. But again, it's just something about the stock, the daily and everything doesn't look like it trades very well. All right, folks, Andrew's going to come on now and fine-tune his list. Thank you guys on YouTube. Actually, Andrew, good morning. Do you want YouTube to stick around for a little bit?
Good morning. Yes, I have something for YouTube. Let me share my screen.
Excellent. Let's keep them. Yep. Let me get the screen.
Yes. Good morning, YouTube people. That you're watching us for free, but you're not joining us. I'm just kidding.
Well,
no, I have something. Peter shared a couple of pictures that I want to share with you. He's in Cambodia right now, and he's sending these pictures. They're pretty awesome. Look at his amazing face. I love this guy. And this is his son. The second one, his son, and he went there to bring him back. And look at this guy, like a king of Cambodia, sitting there. And yeah, I don't. The face that I see here, this guy, I don't think this guy is actually coming back. He's not happy.
He's not coming back.
Ottawa minus 25 degrees.
This is a no-win mission for Peter. Peter.
Yeah, this is not a free ticket. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, it's so funny, Peter. So actually, he did send a couple of other his trading pictures too. So again, it's beautiful. Asia Pacific, it's beautiful. Actually, my wife and I want to travel there look at that. My wife and I want to actually travel in February, but this is his trading. So he does get into trading, and he actually did the success webinar from somewhere down there. I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, so he did. I think I've heard actually internet is really good there, and this beautiful panorama that he sent, and these planes. When I get into Bhutan and Nepal and stuff, you got into these planes. They're really scary. You go in there, but you don't know if you come out of it or not. Especially because they're so light, they get the turbulence too. And this is the cottage that he was staying. And this is California International. I don't know. I think it's probably the price that it was really cheap. I think that he posted. For us, California International. I don't know why did he send this receipt to us. Maybe I have to pay for it. I don't know. But this looks like a $79 or something. Anyways, so that was Peter. I love that guy. He's amazing. He said, I'm going to bring my son back. You know, like he can't call or Skype. That he had to go there to bring him back.
And he bought what? He bought a one-way ticket too. Not a return flight. So that's interesting.
Yeah, he says to his wife, I'm going to bring my son back with a one-way ticket. Goodbye for the whole Christmas time. Oh, I love that guy. All right, so let's find a watch list. Surprisingly, not a lot of stuff. But AMC, I don't know why it's not in the gap here, but it's really nice. Gapping down 3%. Probably doesn't have an ATR. It's not 30 cents. But it does look really good for the crack of 779 all the way to all-time low of 747, so definitely it's good. FedEx is also good. You know, we traded FedEx in the past a lot. These are the levels that I had, 150.63. I had this level from the past trading, and it seems that it's really holding that level very nicely. So let's get some activity on it. I like that for potential, open range breakdown, but we got to see how it's being traded at the open. And PCG is really good, popped up, so 10%, really nice volume. I think it would be a good candidate for opening range breakup. It's just it has to come above the VWAP and get a pullback, and then we can, move toward the 1317, which is the high of this consolidation down here. But it's really good. Right now, there's also two levels that we have somewhere around here. I think it makes a really good trading opportunity for us. These two levels are really bad because they're very close to VWAP, but overall it seems really nice. Roku is mess right now, as you see. It's in the area, so I'm not a big fan of Roku. But MU, I can't believe in the last couple of days I couldn't make $1 out of MU. But I'll look at MU too, because I think I gotta make money on this stock. This used to be our buddy, but the last couple of days I really couldn't make any money out of that. So MU is definitely stays with me. NLTX, hopping up 2.3%. It's very ugly price action in the pre-market. Float is 27 million. Yeah, it's one of those iffy stocks that I don't want to touch. It looks like cancer. Yeah, I mean, other than that, that's it. The low float stocks, IMPX, it's 1 cent probably. Timothy Sykes is trading it. Naked, doing nothing. Yayo is interesting. Yeah, Timothy Sykes trades all of these penny stocks. Yayo is interesting. Yayo is actually, what's the float on Yayo? Let's check out the Yayo. 37 million shares. So it's not really a low float stock, but it does look interesting. So, it did bounce back from $2. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be a potential trading. But again, not a big fan of these garbage stocks. But SLDB, Nasdaq gainer, went all the way up, and now it's losing it. SLDB. 24 million shares float. Could be. I mean, I like the price action on that as well. SLDB. Yeah, we can just hold on that. But yeah, other than that, I think we have decent. I think we have a decent watch list. So I'm putting on my watch. What I have is MU, PCG, AMR. Oh, AMR. Did I check AMR? I think I want to put AMR on my list as well. So let me actually post this one. AMC. Yeah, we did check at AMD. I think AMD is good for a pop above 48.3. So it looks like it's very bullish on the daily chart. If the market stays strong, it might be a potential long toward this 52-week high of 43. I don't think it's an all-time high. I think AMD used to be higher back in 2001 during the dot-com bubble. But this 43.8, 43.08 considers a very, very important level. So I wouldn't be surprised if you break it today, if the market stays strong. Other than that, guys, yeah, nothing. I mean, that's pretty much. I think that's a decent watch list, at least for now. And then we'll definitely, if something hits the scanners, we definitely will notice it. I don't think anything would go unnoticed in this community. And we also have the Penn Zynga as well. So Penn Zynga definitely tells us what's going on. Penn Zynga is squawk. PCG. Yeah, PCG. It is in my watch list. Didn't I put it? Yeah, it is PCG. So yeah, for those of you guys in YouTube or new members, we do have this Penn Zynga squawk that you can actually turn it on. So you just click on the Penn Zynga icon, you go to the Penn Zynga page, and from there, what you can do is you can actually turn it on. So you can turn it on. It could be a little bit annoying if you have the moderators on too, but a lot of our traders are actually not listening to us in the chat because they found it distracting. They just listen to a squawk, which is totally fine, and just look at the chat. We really don't get any, our emotions are not getting hurt if you do that. So see what the, yeah, the form of fear of missing. I agree. When I was trading myself, I couldn't really listen to the moderators. I mean, I totally agree with you. If the community, the microphone aspect of it, you want to mute at least at the open. But during the day when everything gets slower, you want to turn it on. But a squawk, I think, would be a good addition, and that's why we pay $10,000 a month for that, because I think it's an excellent addition for the traders who do not want to listen to the moderators. I think that's an excellent addition. We didn't have to do it, but we want to do it because there's a lot of the traders that are just want to be in the community, use the scanners and use the chat, and but they don't want to listen to them. So it's very important addition for them. At least that's what I think. Yeah. Yeah, Domi, it's expensive. I mean, the licensing fee is really, really expensive because that's one of the flagship products of Penn Zynga. And, if you want to be a Penn Zynga member pro, you have to pay $140 a month to just get access to that as part of it. So, yeah, now we have the community is healthy, that my trading is going well, everyone's happy, we do it. If one day we don't have it, we'll cancel it. But now the community is strong, and trading is going really well, and we are committed to just keep adding. If you have any feedback, just send it to us. We're more than happy to add the features and add, anything that you think. Now we have, the capability because the members wanted, we added. If webinar, success, any invited guests, anything that you want, just email us. We'll try to implement it as fast as possible, as quickly as possible. Yeah, but Marcel, we want growth in a reasonable pace. That's another. We as a team, we have a philosophy that we don't want growth on any cost, and we don't want any type of people in the community either. Those gamblers that they have $500 and they want to, revolutionize their life. We just want a strategy. We just don't need them in the community. We can run ads. We can put $10,000 a month on Google Ads and everywhere to get people, but that's not the purpose of a community. We want to keep it small, and we want to keep it for just professionals, only serious people. Dutch, of course it's a. What are you talking about, Dutch? Of course it's a cost. Yeah, no, it is expensive. Yeah, nothing is. Well, what we could do, we could just have a computer and just get one subscription and just broadcast it from that. But that's unethical. That's illegal. And that's not who we are. We want to pay that because if you pay Penn Zynga, they improve the service. But if everyone starts stealing it by broadcasting it, people do that. There are communities that are doing it, but we don't want to do that. We want to really support that because the continuous improvement of their product. All right, so.
Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Brian. Sorry, I wasn't reading the France.
It's okay. SPY's pushing higher.
Oh man, this market, nothing brings this market down.
No.
The whole world is collapsing. The president is being impeached. Everything is just market makes all-time high. I love that. Amazing. Yeah. Nothing moves this brings this market down.
Yeah, it's the Tina trade. There is no other option, alternative, whatever.
Yeah.
What place else to put your money?
Exactly. That's very true. Actually, I mean, when you look at the world economy, everyone is the Euro zone is collapsed. Deutsche Bank is down 60%. Year to date. So the whole Euro zone is collapsing, Brexit, and there is protest in France, in Chile, everywhere is just, there's only a stable economy that you're seeing right now is just US, and people want to come and put their money in there.
Yeah. All right. We've got 7 or 8 minutes to the open. Just going to grab some water.
So yeah, that is why, Steven, what did I do? No, seriously, I mean, the whole world is collapsing. Honestly, look at the Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank is representing the Eurozone. Look at that. I mean, year to date, it used to be $10. Going to the, look at that. This is the Deutsche Bank from 2013. It was $50. Now it's just under $7. Back in 2017, it was $20. Now it's just it's a failed bank, really. XLF, it's the financials. Yeah, so look at the financials just going up. Shit, sorry. Yeah, I mean that's also really bad. I mean, if you have a lot of investments in the company that you're working, and it goes down, yeah, it's tough. Anyway, so I'm just putting everything on my different chart. I hope that we get at least one good move. I mean, today I'm in the mood of just one good trade. That's it. And then I do the recap. AMD, FedEx. If I can get a good short on FedEx, that would be nice. FedEx. And yeah, remember, guys, tonight is the tonight is the lifetime mentorship session. Ayman and I are going to present how to trade in the open. So there's no secret that we want to mention, but that's how we trade and how we survive the open. Of course, I'm not saying that everyone should trade at the open or everyone should trade like us, but at least we can tell you what we do, and you can just learn something from it and implement it in your own trading.
Um, 700 shares, 1,000. I don't know which stock are you talking about, Kenneth? You talking about PCG? Sometimes, fast. Sometimes there's the market makers have to want to square their books. They may be short, so they have to cover them. It could have been it was probably a block trade between brokers, or it could have been an arranged trade between different investment houses. Somebody wanted out of the trade and somebody else wanted in. Yeah. Facebook is going to go to 200. Yep, I'm still in CVS. Just see how it opens.
Yeah. Facebook.
Also, yeah, I'm also in OPGN. Yep. It's popped up a little bit yesterday. Hopefully get some continuation here today. Yeah, Facebook is so close to 200 now. It's going to go over it for sure.
CRMD doesn't have a lot of volume. But where did you find Brian CRMD? Where did you find these stocks?
It was over on. I just always researching stuff, but it was over on the gainers in the top list.
Oh, it's not anymore though, is it?
Yeah, it's still there. Second one down. There isn't a lot of volume on it, so I've just got it off to one side here. It's my secondary list. FedEx, I'm a little bit concerned about. It just really hasn't moved much in the whole pre-market. It's above the VWAP, so I'm not sure what kind of price action we're going to get on it at the open. SPY still looking like it wants to push higher here. And I took some PCG home last night. I like the way it closed. And
you have PCG? Damn, it's off 11%.
Yeah, I know.
I was thinking of buying some too. Shit.
And actually, and Helen took more home than I did. I think she took home 1,000 shares.
You should have told me. Damn, I was thinking of buying some PCG just for fun, but damn, you should have texted me because I was thinking of doing it.
Yeah, it was just sort of a last minute thing. Helen got in. Helen got in at 1040. Wow, that's a way better, because I think my average is 1090 or something like that.
Nice,
1080.
Very nice.
But anyway, yeah, beautiful.
Did you know that Helen is a doctor? Actually, she has a PhD.
Okay, didn't know that. You had info. Okay, well done. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, guys, we got 10 seconds to the open. See what happens here.
All right.